Hi, this is Donna from Clever Crafting. Thank you so much for joining me here today. So this is one of the lovely Marion's designs that we're making. We're starting with a 10.5 by 14.3 piece of cardstock, lightweight cardstock, and one of the stencils from the layered stencil set that's in this month's kit. I'm using this particular pattern paper, and you can see that it's blue on the back, which is a matching color. I actually want to match up the ink to that color because it does match beautifully with the patterned side. So I've gone with Distressed Oxide Tumbled Glass. I'm using the sticky mat here, and I've put that A6 mat size of cardstock on there, and I'm just, as I said, holding one of the stencils over, and I'm using my blending brush there to just put ink down on the card through the stencil. Does a lovely job. It's nice and easy to do it on the sticky piece, and one of the things I love about these stencils in this month's kit is that you can really effectively use them individually instead of having to use them all together. I'm distressing the edges. We are making a lovely distressed card. It's a little bit of a grungy look, so I like to use the scissors because it gives me a deeper distress rather than just the distress tool, but if you've got one of those and want to use it, go right ahead. I am also inking up the edges in that tumbled glass ink, and that's going to give me a lovely definition around the edge of the card. Moving on now to our stripes, or our little pieces that are going on the top of the card. These are 2 centimeters, and that one's by 8 centimeters. This is 2 by 6.5 centimeters and 2 by 4.5 centimeters. These are 2.5 centimeters by 8 centimeters, 2.5 centimeters by 6.5, 2.5 centimeters by 4.5 centimeters. 4.5 centimeters, yep, that's right. But all of the measurements will be on the PDF, and there'll be a link in the description box below. Here I am, you can see, just distressing up all of the edges of these pieces as well. Now the smaller pieces, you don't probably really have to distress, but I really liked the look of it, and I am also distressing all of the larger pieces as well, all of the matte layers. So not only are we going to distress these, but we're also going to ink up all of the edges as well. However, I'm not going to make you sit through all of that, and through the magic of video, we are going to skip forward to the next part of our card. So what I'm doing here is I've got some cereal box, and I am just popping some glue. I've cut it down. It's a little bit smaller than my patterned paper, and I'm sticking that on the back of the patterned paper, excuse me, just to add a little bit of dimension between it and the white mat that's on the back. So you can see, as I mentioned, that we have inked up the back piece as well as the top patterned piece, and now we've got that little bit of dimension in between the two. It's great. We're going to repeat that for all 3 pieces. In addition to that, I wanted to add some more dimension to these actual 3 pieces. So I'm using a bit of that baby wipes box that I used in the last video as my faux foam tape, and I'm popping that on the back of each one of these 3 pieces to add extra dimension and nice texture to the front of our card. Moving on to the flowers, at the original one, you can see that the flowers are all nice and neat and flat, but I really wanted it more a distressed look, so I decided on this one to scrunch up the flowers. So we're going to start by inking all of the edges. Once again, this adds a little bit of extra definition for the edge of the flowers and pulls it out of the card a bit more, which is great. So I'm going to do that for all 4 of these pieces. These 4 pieces will make 2 cards. Once again, not going to make you watch me do that. To scrunch them up, I fold them around the outside, fold the petals up into the center, you can see that, and then I literally squash them and then push them down into like a little ball thing. So while I'm doing this, I just wanted to talk to you about our Facebook group. We've got a great group over at Clever Crafters. Oh no, it's not Clever Craft. Yes, it is Clever Paper Crafters on Facebook. We actually run classes, online classes, every Thursday night and every Friday afternoon, and we do hold a special one for the deaf on Monday evenings as well. They're all online, and our lovely ladies are very nice and share their creations over on Facebook, so you will see a lot of variations of this particular card over there, and there's a lot of things to learn. So please feel free to drop in and have a look and see what we're all about and some lovely different options for this card. So now that we've finished making the flowers, I am just going to pop some of that Smart Art glue in the center of the flower. And these are the seed beads that came in the kit, and I am just pouring them into the center of the flower. I'm doing this over a piece of folded paper, you can see there, because that makes it so much easier for me to pop it back into my little packet later. Once I've added the beads, I'm just tapping off any excess. You can see that I'm doing that with all of them there. I'll pop that away and fix that up later. Now it's time to put all of our card together. So I'm actually going to start by adding, I'm shaking so much there, crazy. Okay, sorry, adding the two outside pieces. This way when I add the center piece, I can keep it nice and even. Now, aesthetically for the card, these sorts of things are important because although people won't notice that it's even, they would notice if it was uneven. So it's quite important to try and keep it to, you know, a nice distance apart. So that's why I put the two outside edges down and then the middle one. It's easy then to just attach the flowers. We're going to attach a flower at the bottom of each one of those pieces of patterned paper. Of course, this will then give us nice steps of all the graduation, the up graduation for the flowers, as well as the pieces of patterned paper that we've put up there. You can see though that I think the first one was up a bit too high, so thankfully I used glue so I had enough time to move it down. I've grabbed one of the pre-printed greetings that came in the kit, and I am just inking up the edges in blue to match the rest of my card, and I'm also sticking a thin piece of that beautiful cardboard or the faux foam on the back of my greeting, so that can also be popped on the front of my card and it will add a bit of dimension, and that also adds a bit of cohesiveness throughout the card as well and makes the greeting stand out a little bit more. So I decided on thinking for you for this one because this could be for any really type of occasion. So once we've done all of that, we are now going to pop some glue on the back of this mat, and we are going to attach it to our card front, which is a standard A6 card. Just checking there to make sure that I've got it set the correct way, and I'm going to pop it on. I lost a little bit of footage here, but what I did do is I lightly stenciled on the inside that paint splatter to make it, you know, bring the outside to the inside, and then I used some of my scraps and a little bit of the paint splatter on my envelope to make it all nice and matching. So here's a few close-ups of the card. I've also got a couple of different cards here that you'll be able to have a look at. I am in actual fact using this month's cards that I've been making to make boxes of gifts. I figured I'd make boxes of cards, maybe about half a dozen or so in each box. So I'll be able to give them away. Here's the pink one that we originally had. Of course, I don't have a greeting on this pink one. I'm not sure what greeting I'm going to use on it yet, but I will add one for certain. This one has also got the distressed edges, but the next one that I'm showing doesn't actually have distressed edges because you can use this design and change it up a little bit. This has got a matte layer. I've got blue around the edge, and I've kept everything flat. So, and I've got two colors in it as well. So all of these are options for you. I would just like to thank you once again for joining me today. If you learned something, it would be a great help if you subscribe to our little channel. Until next time, stay safe and happy crafting.